What's up, fam? All right, so we're doing a Pokemon Y Nuzlocke. I just beat the first gym fairly easily. I got a pretty good team. Fennekin's the starter, so it's I haven't played these games in a really long time. It's probably I can't even think. When did I last play these? Must have been like right after I graduated college, so like 2016, 2017. They're pretty good games. I I feel like they were pretty good games, but they're a little scattered. I had fun playing it. It was my first time playing a Gen 6 game. So, like, and I'd played Gen 5, but then I was in college, so I really didn't play too much. But I remember ripping a Heart Gold playthrough when I was in by my junior year, but other than that, maybe like senior year, I played on some emulators, but I really did not play like too much Pokemon when I was did not play too much Pokemon when I was in college. But now I'm an adult, I have a job, I have money, and I spend too much time playing this stupid game. I actually have a pretty sick playthrough of Heart Gold going right now. I got three shinies. I soft reset for a shiny Chikorita. I was hoping for a Totodile. Honestly, it was probably my third choice. I'm colorblind and cannot really see the shiny all that well with shiny Chikorita, but it's pretty cool. It's a Meganium now. Oh, this is my encounter. What do we got? What do we got? Oh my God. We got the white flower Flabebe as my encounter. I am being completely honest here. I must have hunted this white flower Flabebe for like I was way over odds. I think it's like a 1% chance, but like 6 hours, I had caught like four orange Flabebes, which is kind of rare. I don't know if the yellow one's rare, but the orange one's pretty rare. And I had like not seen any of them, and I get at my first encounter on this route. That is insane. All right, this might be short. And I feel like I gotta go for a premier ball. Maybe I should weaken this thing down. What do we got in the party? I can't even remember what my team was. All right, so team so far, we got Goddard, the Bidoof. We have Babs, the Bumblebee, or Bumbleboo, whatever it is. Liquor, geez, I cannot remember names. My recall is struggling right now. So let's take it up. We got Liquor, what is its name? I'm just blanking. Whatever. The blue monkey thing that nobody likes. Fenway the Fennekin, and Punky the Pidgey. All right. So let's get Babs in here. I don't think let me check the moves though. I think I got to check the moves of these guys because I don't want to send somebody out to die. All right. I think we do. Let's get Liquor out there and try to get a para Lick. What an insane encounter. We got the white flower as my encounter for the route. 1% chance. Pretty insane. But we gotta get a pair on this thing, so hopefully I don't kill with this. I doubt it. I actually have no idea what the um, type interaction is between Ghost and Fairy. Looks like nothing. Neutral. Oh geez, but it can get. That was 12 damage. We're actually dead to crit right now. We gotta get out of here. I forgot I had Vine Whip. That is not good. What moves does. Honestly, I think we just go back to Pidgey. I think one more attack will be fine. It's got a couple levels on it, but doesn't have the highest attack. White Flower Flababy. So excited to add this to the team. What a pull. Chat, what's the rarest Pokemon you've caught lately? I just caught a Quillfish in Heart Gold yesterday. Didn't take too long. I probably had about 10 encounters, but for, a 2% encounter, pretty good. All right. So I think that's enough. I don't think I have any status moves. I wish I could just like status this with something so I have a good chance to get it in the Premier Ball. I'll be pretty bummed out if we don't catch this in the Premier Ball first try. Let me just check my party one more time. I mean, Goddard isn't going to have any. Yeah, Lick was kind of our only shot there. Defense Girl on Goddard. Babs, yeah, I think this is all we got. All right, let's just huck the Premier Ball and hope we get it in a nice white ball for my white flower baby. That'd be epic. All right, 1, 2, 3. Let's go. Huge. All right. We're calling this guy Lotus for White Lotus. Great TV show. Super weird. Makes you feel uncomfortable. I mean, it's a great show, but like I have a hard time recommending it to people, especially when I just describe the plot points about any of the episodes or any of the seasons. It's a great show, but yeah, I might be due for a rewatch of some of the earlier seasons, but that is insane. White Flower Flabebe, my first shot. I'm psyched. You will be named Lotus. And gonna be a core member of the team. I'm glad the Flabebe is a lady. I don't know what the gender stats are for Flabebe, but it just feels like a girl Pokemon. I don't judge. I'm open to all genders for all Pokemon. However, when I get like, there's certain Pokemon that just, should be look more like a girl than a guy. That being said, if you get like a Primarina male, which 87.5% of them are, then you just got a sweet queen as, leading your party. I might prefer that over a female, honestly. All right, so we got the White Lotus. Time to nature reveal. Summary, we have lower defense, looks like, so bold. So we got lower attack plus defense. That is fantastic. Wow. What an encounter. It's got the ideal nature, lower attack, up defense. Let me what are the base stats for Flabebe? This is insane. I think I got the only thing that would have been better is like shiny or Pokerus or some shit. Like Jesus. Flabebe base stats. I can't even remember the name. My recall for Pokemon names right now is horrible. So Florges is what it evolves into. Let me just check out what the white one looks like. Oh, beautiful. It's got some white hair. Yeah. Only thing that would have been better there. And its defense is lower than its special defense. So like we want to boost that defense. We don't care about attack. That's insane. I might need to train this thing. All right. So that was sick. All right. So next up. Next up, we're gonna want to, let's see. We gotta battle this route, but let's just go get some heals on. Yep, there's the orange one. Wow. So we got, or is that yellow? I can't tell. I'm colorblind. All right, let's get a Gus off there. Well, that was sick. I can't believe that was my encounter. The weather is not great. I was gonna go to the gym today, but with it pouring rain out, good excuse to just hop on a stream and make some progress in this Nuzlocke. All right, I think I got to make a poll, and we are going to decide after I make a switch here because I do not want my Pidgey dying to a random encounter. We got to decide what Kanto starter I'm choosing. All right, Bulbasaur. We'll go Charmander second. We'll do it in Dex order here. Charmander and my boy Squirtle. Honestly, like I lean Bulbasaur as my favorite Kanto starter. However, like I go back and forth so often with like which one I actually like best. I feel like I have such a history with all three. It's really hard for me to decide. I start with Pokemon Blue, and I definitely chose like a Squirtle because it was on the box when I got it. But like, I don't know if it's my favorite necessarily. And then I always lean grass starters because I feel like the first time I actually made it deep in a Pokemon game was using a Venusaur. Because like when I was 6 years old, choosing a Squirtle was the cool option. However, it's so hard to advance the game with with a Charmander starter. So that run did not last long. And then yeah, Bulbasaur just tanks the first few gyms. So I feel like there's probably a lot of little kids out there like me that the only starter they ever used, or the only starter that they really got a run going in Pokemon Blue and Red was Bulbasaur. And we love Bulbasaur. Yeah, honestly, like I'll go, I'll go Bulbasaur as the top. Um, yo, all right, we can hear me. All right, I can't hear the game right now though. Oh. Okay, there we go. Back online. Hopefully, all my viewers can hear the game going. I can hear it faintly on my headphones. I'm still trying to figure out this streaming thing. I have no idea how stuff works. All right, we got the cool camo beanie, as is tradition. This is probably the one game I have the least amount of tradition of any game. Yeah, honestly, Gen 6. Gen 6 is I respect it. I had a lot of fun with it playing it, but I've only played it once. Like, and anytime I've tried to pick it up again, I've struggled. And I think with X and Y specifically, where I struggle is the sheer number of encounters that you like experience when you play this game is kind of insane. Like, I feel like I never know who to put on my team because like there's just great options every step of the way. It's like encounter paralysis, where I want to use so many different guys, but it just makes it impossible to actually decide like who belongs on the team. I do remember. I have a distinct memory. I had a Nidoqueen on my team. I had a. What else did I have? I had a Meowstic, a lady one. I I love Meowstic. I'm glad. I think I got a Mega. I actually haven't played the DLC for um, Legends ZA, but I would definitely, um, yeah, Meowstic and Chimecho getting the extra, you're getting those Mega Evolutions definitely makes me tempted to like pick that up at some point. But I don't know, Legends ZA, I liked it. I feel like I went in, I completed the decks, I got a living dex in it, but I started grinding for the shiny charm in that game, and it kind of turned me off to the game. It was a fun game, but I feel like I don't know if I'll ever go back to it. I don't know if I need to. And I don't feel that way about Legends Arceus, because like I actually was like early on, I really liked Legends Arceus, but I never went back to it. After getting through like I feel like I tried to do too much and I was trying to like completionist get every dex entry for for Arceus, and then I just got burnt out too early where I just didn't advance the game enough. I think what I needed to do is just like get through like the first few whatever those like big boss battles are, like get through the Scyther or the Cleavor in some of those boss battles, and then I would have really committed to it. But then I went back to it like 2 years later and went all in. But I still need to go back and play the post game. But that's a game I could like see myself like restarting from the beginning and just doing a whole fresh playthrough. But I probably should focus on actually finishing the game before I go and replay it again. I'd like to get the shiny charm in that game. I feel like it's a great game to shiny hunt in. But yeah, Legends Arceus is definitely up there for one of my favorite games. Um, ooh, we got Flame Charge. This has got to be on. I mean, it's a special attacker. Can I see the stats? Just let me know. Jello. And I mean, I kind of want a neutral attack, but honestly, let's drop Tail Up because we can run Howl and then Flame Charge, so we can at least get a physical, speed and attack going. So bye bye Tail Up. Then I might regret that at some point. Tail Up can be clutch when you just like are safe from an opponent but can't do anything to it. So all right. The one thing that's fun about this game is I remember nothing from it. I've played through like the first two gyms a couple times, but um, I feel like there's just so much that is not like most games I can remember decent chunks of it. I probably felt this. I probably didn't know Black 2 and White 2 that well before a couple recent playthroughs, but other than that, I remember most everything. And then like Omega Ruby and Alpha Sapphire, while I haven't played those games that much, you know, I played through Gen 3 so much. So yeah. So I I feel like while I haven't played anything other than Omega Ruby once, I feel like I get the gist of it. I've played plenty of oh, we got a little visitor here. I don't know if you can see, but I got my cat on my lap here. Her name is Morty. We actually thought she was a boy for like the first 4 months we had her, and finally took her to the vet, and they were like, "Yep, you got a lady." Funny reveal. So she is still Morty. She was Morty when we got her when she was a boy, and then still Morty today, but now she's Morticia, which is the mother in the Addams family. So we got a little Addams family cat. Jeez, what move was that? The most useless move in the entire game. Alright. Morty's getting down, and I don't want her to mess up my wire. Alright, so I'd say where do I think Gen 6 would fall on my rankings, just like based purely off memory? I feel like it's pretty low. I don't know. I feel like I have a lot of recency bias because like Gen 7 was definitely the bottom of my list, but I played Ultra Sun recently and had a great time with it. I think it's a little overhated. I think it does have its flaws. However, like I think you just need to like, go in knowing that it's a cozy hangout game. Like there's gonna be some long cutscenes, but like just spend a good amount of time in the game and then like, do some shiny hunting, SOS chains, like pick up some EVs, hunt rare Pokemon. And then I think all of a sudden, like relative to the rest of the experience, like if you're trying to power through the game, like it's not one of those games. Like one of my buddies will play Gen 1, Gen 2 primarily on emulators on his phone. And like he basically tries to do a speed run or like, how quickly can I beat this game and, pick up as few level as possible. So like if you're playing like that, then Gen 7 is kind of a slog. And I think it can be, but I think you just need to go in with the mentality of like there is a lot of plot in this game, but that's not necessarily a bad thing. Um, and I think they're overhated overall. And I don't love Z moves, but they introduced the regional forms, which is like the best. Um, I don't know if it's a mechanic, but like one of the best features and changes to the games they've made in a very long time. So um, I like Gen 7, and then back to what I was originally thinking. I was like, when Gen 6, like it's probably pretty low right now, but it probably just because of how long it's been since I played it. One game that like when I was playing through it, I loved Scarlet and Violet, but I found going back to it and just those frame rates made it such a difficult game to return to that it's probably on the lower end of rankings now. So like Gen 9, it started off pretty high. It was like one of my favorite games at the time, and I thought the open world was not executed great, but I thought it was just cool to experience Pokemon in that way. And I felt it like naturally expanded on what Gen 8 was doing with the wild areas. But I think with the performance, it's pretty bad. I have the Switch 2 now, so I should probably give it another playthrough with the Switch, but or the Switch 2. But like, yeah, it's not calling my name. Like, and I feel like when I tried to replay it, I was trying to do Nuzlocke. Like, I like Nuzlocks, and I had a phase where like I would basically was almost just like only exclusively Nuzlocke games, and just had a hard time doing like regular playthroughs. And I feel like I kind of struggled that with in adulthood. Is I most of the time I want some sort of self-imposed challenge on the games I'm playing, but you know, like I think it's either I try to do a completionist playthrough where I'm catching like every Pokemon, like completing the regional decks of the game, or I want to do some sort of Nuzlocke. So I will say that's something I struggle with as I've gotten older because I've played these games a million times. But what makes it fun for me is like just giving yourself some sort of you know challenge run aspect. So my Heart Gold game that I'm playing, so I'd never done a full odds hunt, and as everyone knows, Heart Gold and Soul Silver have one of the easiest full odds hunts you can do with a starter. So reset, I got my shiny Chikorita, and then maybe like 20 encounters later, I was up in Dark Cave and ran into a shiny Geodude, which was insane. I literally like I won't say I was like shaking, but like I was like in awe that I like within 20 encounters, like I've gotten like a couple full out shiny. So let's go from the top. So the first one I ever got was Graveler during a Nuzlocke Platinum, and that was just like insane. It was 2 a.m. and I was just like grinding out that cave where you catch the where you team up with the guy that gives you the Riolu egg, and all of a sudden like I was running through again because I couldn't pick up the egg, so I was like going back through after I emptied my party, snagged the Riolu, and then like on my way there though I caught a shiny Graveler, so I ended up actually having to go back because my party was full again. But it was terrifying because Gravelers have self-destruct, And I was like, fuck, what am I gonna do? If this thing fucking explodes on me, I'm gonna lose my mind. But in the most clutch moment ever, I had a Quagsire with damp, so it was a non-issue. It was fantastic. Caught my shiny Graveler, first for Lots Poke. And then this second one I got was a Clink or Clang, whatever the first one is in Chargestone Cave of Pokemon Black, I think. I was playing it over Christmas break. And when that little guy popped up again at like 2 a.m. It was insane. So then, this is my first time doing an actual hunt. Those are just both random encounters. But, oh, Pidgey v Pidgey. We got an honor battle here. We got 3 levels. We're gonna smoke this guy. All right, yeah, let's do a quick attack. Let's just keep the speed advantage. We gotta outspeed this guy. A couple levels on him, but yeah. Then I did my first shiny hunt, which was one of the JoJo starters. I was hoping for Totodile. Then it was Cyndaquil, but then I got my Chikorita, and I'm happy with it. You can find that short on the channel. But yeah, oh, hold on. There might be something wrong with the stream. I have no idea if this is working or has been working. Let me, and